Hello, folks. Hello, daughter.
Hello.
You're looking very pink.
Thank you. I try.
And yeah, hair and all, you're very coordinated.
I was told by your son that I match beautifully today.
It's not bad.
I truly am a decorated Easter egg.
Okay, well, we better talk about what the purpose of the video
probably.
was. We're going to record a quick video, that is the intent, and we're going to basically show you how to kind of make people pickers and pimp people pickers and make them useful.
Peter Piper pimped a peck of people pickers.
Goodness me. So, okay, there's three ones we'll do. We'll do the SharePoint way.
Yes.
We'll do the 365 users way.
Yes.
And then we'll do the gallery way. Let's do that. Got a canvas app on screen. Going to insert ourselves a combo box. And I think we'll do SharePoint way first. All right.
SharePoint way, yeah.
So, okay, I have got a SharePoint list over here. And it's not very exciting. It literally just has the default title
I
column.
guess you could say you have some list over here.
I have some list. And right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to link it as a data source. So let's just go do that. I better remember the site because I only just made it, so it may not come up in the
Stuff is
list.
a fairly easy site to remember. My goodness, you've been doing this for long enough. You should know where to click.
Yeah, I know. Okay, will stuff come up? What do you reckon?
Just click it at the top. Just type it in at the top. Just type it in at the top.
Fine.
No, at the top.
Hey? Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
Older
Oh
than
my
you.
god.
All right. Okay, now the reason I made that SharePoint list, we are not even going to save data into it. You could take any random SharePoint list here, and I'll attempt to give an explanation for what's going to happen. The other thing with this combo box, we might as well do it now. We're going to make sure searching is on. We won't allow multiple for now. We'll just do like a single person.
Make it a lot
picker.
simpler.
And so here's the gist. In the items property, you can use a function called choices. Choices is quite a useful function.
Not with an 9 at the end.
And if you literally go choices and you pick any random SharePoint list that you have access to, and read access is fine, and then go dot. And if you choose, say, the created by column, which is a people column, even though it's built in, you don't edit it in SharePoint, it's there. And basically what this does is pretty much go off to SharePoint, and what's happening is PowerApps is going, hey SharePoint, what are the choices available for this people picker? And SharePoint goes, this is my theory anyway.
Yeah.
SharePoint goes, well, I don't kind of know, but I'll give you the first 20 if I go and ask Active Directory, because the thing about the choices, you only get 20 back, right? And I can't remember where they put the search criteria in here. We're kind of doing this on the fly. We'll find out
I think
in a
it's
sec
like
anyway.
comma after.
Yeah, I just don't remember whether we have to. Okay,
I don't think you have to, but you can.
we do the choices. We come across into the fields list here, and we'll go double layout just because we can. And then you can choose...
Not claims, because claims sucks.
Yeah, well, you kind of need it, but it's not
Yeah,
exactly
but it's not...
user
Okay,
helpful.
you don't need it to look at in your app
Well, that
in
is
a
true.
drop-down.
So what I've done here is I've said, okay, the choices field comes back. If we stuck that in a collection or a variable, we could show you. But in effect, SharePoint people picker, or a people field has 5 different things about a user that it stores, and that's what's coming back. So they're the choices that are coming back as the output of that function. So if I just press play, and I just come in here now, you can see that here are some things coming up. And I reckon the search went and turned itself off.
It turns itself off.
So let's just put that
Yeah.
back.
It's
on.
so weird. As soon as you mess with the items in a combo box, it just turns that search off.
Yeah.
Which messed me up the first 5 times I tried to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure I'm doing it right. Why isn't it working
And
anymore?
it'll happen to us a bit more. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so that's cool. You know, you've got name and email address there, which was determined by the layout. But here's something that a lot of people don't know. What if, for example, we've got heaps of people named John Smith, and we actually want to uniquely identify it a bit better and have it in the drop down a bit more. So you can even do stuff like this. I go to this choices column, and how about doing something like add a column to it, take the output of choices, and should we take display name, and then go maybe dash, and then bracket, maybe something like this, space, and then we take the email field, from
Yeah.
that output, and boom. Oh, what did I do wrong? Add columns, da-da-da-da-da. I've done something weird there.
Should give the column a name.
Did I get... Oh, yeah. Yes. Good call.
You do have to name your column before you create it.
Making a new column because I'm doing this very imaginatively. All right, there we go.
Boring.
Happier. Now, what have we done? This is now going to create an additional virtual column, and it's going to take the display name and then put a bracket and then the email and a close bracket. And so what's cool about that is if I now go back into my field mappings here and we have a look at our, say, our primary text, we can now choose, looky there's new column. I really should have called it a better name.
And then we can change the secondary one to something else.
You want claims?
To put department and change the search field to not department.
Yeah.
Because why would you search for department?
That should be display name.
Yeah, and then you might want to fix that, allow searching again.
Oh.
Because of course it has gone and turned itself off.
All right. I wonder if it happens every time you come in here.
I don't think it happens with that. It definitely happens when you mess with items.
Okay. So let's see what happened now. See, and did you see? Look already. Hang on. Let's back up. Name, email. Isn't that cool?
And that one doesn't have an email, so it's just blank in there, but that's fine.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, I thought the display name was this. Oh, so if its display name is the search, perhaps I've got to put my first name in. No, why aren't I finding me? I don't know.
Because it's being ridiculous.
It was working. What did I do for my search field? That should have worked. Says it's display name. I wonder if... I'm going to... What the hell? I don't know, but that was cool nonetheless. It was a nice experiment, but that's okay. We actually tend not to use this way for doing searches, but if you ever...
It's definitely been a while since we've used that
If you did an edit form in SharePoint and connected to a SharePoint list, that's pretty much what you'll see in the add columns kind of thing. But there's actually a nicer way that gives you more info, because the thing about the choices function is, in fact, you can see it here. Let me just expand that out again. Whoops, click choices. You only get department, display name, email, job title. Oh, you get picture. That's the one good thing about this one. You could work like a person's profile picture into it.
But you don't like get their phone number. You don't get their...
Exactly.
Location, not location,
Yeah.
what's it? Address.
Role. Yeah, job role, phone numbers and all that sort of thing.
Manager, any of that stuff.
So here's another way we can do this. How about this? If we go to data sources and we go good old Office 365 users connector, and let's connect.
I feel like that is one of the connections I use the most.
Yeah, it's
Office 365
it's
users. I'm like constantly using it.
And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to wipe this out. The items property this time, we're going to go Office 365 users, right? And we're going to do a search user, right? And then it's like, okay, where are we getting
What's
this
your
search from?
term?
So it asks for it in JSON, and it's nice. IntelliSense does a thing, search term. And then you got this new thing with controls. Normally in the old days, you would put the name of this control, combo box 1 dot something or other. But now we can use self, and that's nice because when you cut and paste things,
It's beautiful. If you make a copy of that control, it's not going to be referring to the other control. It's going to actually be referring to itself, which is
so if I go self dot and it's not selected items, there's another property in here, and I think it's called like search text or something.
Search text.
Search text. All right, and I don't care about the top number of results. We're just going to whatever comes back.
Yeah.
So that's an optional parameter. I don't think we need it.
I don't really care about that. I just want to see some results.
All right, cool. Little marching ants doing their thing. So
marching ants?
Yeah, little ants. Microsoft, I heard someone call them marching ants.
They're just little dotty dots.
Oh, like dotty dots are like... That's much more logical.
I'm sorry, they're dots going across the screen. I'm sorry that I saw them as dotty dots and you saw them as ants,
No,
which
it was like a meme
knowledgeably
thing.
have legs. And, more than one round body part. They tend to have a thorax and an abdomen.
Okay, fine, you win. Okay, have a look at the output of this now. First up, you have a lot more cool stuff. City is there, account enabled company name, because the Office 365 users connector talks to Active Directory. It's not talking to SharePoint, SharePoint's view of what a people picker is. So you can see here we got country, we got department, we got display name, we got all these different things here, right? So now let's do a similar thing. We come in here, better check. Yep, there you go. Search is on. Come back into our fields now, and now we can change. We've got a bigger selection of fields we can choose from.
It is always very funny to me the way it auto-populates. I know it auto-populates with like the first one on the list, but it's really funny the idea that someone wants a drop-down of users and wants to just look at city.
Well, actually,
I'm really looking for, you know, so-and-so, but I can only find them if I type in country. Or I can only find them if I type in, like, their mobile phone number.
Let's see what we get here, because truly, like, this is...
Have we even filled in that much? City,
we will have a couple of things. Look, let's just see. I'll go display name country, right, before we mod it. And so if we just sort of press play, and... yeah, there you go. Oh,
we're all in Australia.
Nice work. I don't know who filled that in, but we're all in Australia.
Obviously wasn't you then.
No.
It's your company.
All right, cool. So now, same kind of deal as before. The other Culmsee just from the other side of the monitor. So let's do the add columns thing again, just because, again, we can. So this is, like, in all seriousness, this has been quite useful for me because in corporates, sometimes like you have like your payroll number or a unique identifier that's not your email address, and often it will be in something like mail nickname.
Yeah.
And so being able to do things like bringing up and showing the payroll number, or, you know, customizing the display. But what I'll do here is we'll add a column, we'll do our search, and the column we'll add is, this time we'll call it big name. And the big name can consist of...
I question your improv skills.
Well, what were you going to call it?
I mean, depending on what we were going to put in there.
Well, what do you think we should put in there? I'm going to go display name with city.
And also... Oh,
you want more?
Yeah, I want more.
City...
And what are the other options for what we got?
And we'll let intelligence figure it out.
You can't type.
You've known that for years. Okay. What else we got? City,
company name's a bit boring.
Department, display name, giver name, ID, job title, mail nickname, mobile phone.
Put mail.
Mail?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, there you go. We've strung that together, close that off, so it's going to be called big name. In fact, you should be able to see, there it is, look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Love it. That is such a nice feature for debugging. Makes me happy.
Beautiful.
So come back into here and search date on. Cool. So, but when I click here, what's a bet? You can actually see it in the corner there. We'll see what it does.
I'm watching it.
So the primary text is going to be big name. And in fact, I'm going to search by big name too. I wonder if that makes any difference to the search. Who knows? It's weird. So let's see if it's happier with my surname this time. Ooh, it is. Cool. It's working though. The point is, actually, what if I search for South Perth? I happen to know this API, it didn't.
Yeah.
Some of the fields are searchable. Like, it's in the document.
Yeah.
There's about 4 or 5 of them are actually available in that search. All right, cool. So you've seen 2 ways now to really quickly build a people picker, which works pretty nice. We won't do the multi-select version, but it's kind of the same. Doesn't make that much difference, but you can tailor it. We have another way of doing this, and we haven't done this for a while, so this is going to be a bit on the fly.
It's definitely a little bit more effort than chucking a combo box on there.
But it actually works in certain circumstances.
It works, and it also looks kind of nicer. Yeah.
So it's basically, think of, as you start, it's a text box. As you start typing, gallery pops up underneath with matches, and the gallery would limit its size, and then as you type, it narrows.
Yeah, it does look similar to this, essentially.
Yeah.
Where it is essentially this, but not constrained by how the Dropbox looks, and you can, move it around wherever. And
it has all the benefits of galleries.
Yes. I love galleries.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okie doke.
In goes a text box. Text box can sit there. We definitely don't want text input into it, and we can do a hint text, but that's...
Can it be a big boy?
Not too big, because I want the gallery to sort of come out nicely. So now I'm going to get a gallery. It's going to be a blank vertical. I'm going to position it kind of like this, because we'll put a few fields in. And now
might want to make them boys a little thinner.
Yes. template row needs
It's a
to
little
be
bit top heavy.
thinned up like this.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do, the items property will be similar. It'll be like something like filter. No, sorry.
No.
Office 365 users dot search user. The search term is going to be the
Text input underscore one or whatever it is.
Text
input one
dot text. But here's the thing, we're only going to filter this gallery, it's conditional. So let me just get this bit in. That's the core items piece. But here's what we want to do. When you type in your first 3 characters, we don't want it to do anything.
It's really annoying when you type in one letter and everything starts popping up.
Particularly in a corporate where you got groups and a lot of other service accounts match. And
you type in A and it's like all users and no, I want Ashlee.
So let's try something like this. Because we don't have a huge kind of, where's my little, there it is. What we're going to do is we're going to go if the length of text input one.text is greater than 2, then we'll do that. Whoops, what have I done? Oh, how about if I put the bracket around length? Otherwise, we're not really going to do anything. Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
So we're only matching.
Yeah. Otherwise, don't do a search.
Yeah.
Let it be blank boy.
Exactly. Now, the other thing we'll do is I'm going to quickly put a border on this just for 1 second because I just want you to be able to see it temporarily. We don't even want to see this thing until you start typing, right? So what we should also do is pretty much say that the visible of this gallery would be something like length text input. This is pretty much how we did it. Isn't it? Text input one dot text greater than 2. You know, if
you put the bracket in the right place again, yeah.
So that should be gone at this point, and let's just sort of do the test. Boom, it's come up.
We haven't put any fields in it, so it's empty, but hey.
Exactly. So now fields are easy because it's already wired up to the search, so I should kind of just be able to go like label.
Oh my gosh, let it live.
What?
How many labels did you click? Company name?
Let's look at the
3.
In fact,
because your laptop's a little bit slow.
I clicked more than that. It's interesting.
Saved you.
That
company
one.
name.
Company name. No, we want display name. Okay. Ash. Here you are.
Alternatively, you could do it the fun thing. You could do like give a name, and then you could do like in brackets, like how they do nicknames.
Yes.
And then you could do like surname afterwards.
Yes.
Like a superhero name. But we wouldn't have a superhero name in there apart from like phone number.
And there's no superhero attribute, unfortunately, in Active Directory. All right, what was I going to put here? This was email. I was going to go .mail.
Mail.
That'll do, right? Because I'm sure that you're okay with mail, but you don't want everyone to have your mobile phone number.
Yeah, maybe. Please don't call me.
Okay. All right, next thing. What we need to do is then, depending on the number of results, so let me just put Culmsee back in, because then there's a couple of us. All right, this is fine. We want the gallery to only extend to the length of the number of results. And
it looks a bit weird like that.
Yeah, and the reality is it's probably more like that. So now this is where we have to fudge it slightly, but it's something along these lines. If I go to the height property of this gallery.
I can do this.
Oh, okay. Well, would you like to?
If you get the height, so the first thing...
I can't use my mouse from the last video.
I cannot use your mouse, so I'm very scared of it. I'm just kind of putting it to the side. There's also a property on galleries, if you look, called template size, which is, I think, usable in this one. I either do it with template size or the height of the labels, really. Right. I'll see if template size works. So that would be self. Slef.
Oh, and who's the bad typist now?
I don't use your laptop normally. Or template height. That's actually really what I want. Template height.
Yeah, I like that.
Times. Count rows.
Yeah.
Self. Oh, I love self.
Do you reckon this will work? Yeah, it does. Oh, that's cool.
Of course it does.
That's cool. Oh, look at that. Now, this is the bit. There's always a little bit of padding, so it's kind of like you need to kind of... maybe add 2 pixels to that and then do the multiplier. You know what I mean? So, like, count rows plus 2 in brackets.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not exactly being scientific here.
Yeah, the padding,
That's
or
better.
you could
That's
just
not
like turn the padding off.
Yeah. And the other thing we need to do is also
Really, it would be 2.5 because the template padding is fine.
But we have to do a limit because, like, you obviously don't want it going off down the screen. You know, like.
Yeah.
So we usually do something like if the number of rows, you know, if count all items is greater than 10. This is just the size.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do this, and that way you can see. We won't do that now, but it will expand. All
well, we don't exactly have enough.
Yep. The next thing is this. Once you click an item on here, boom, it has to update the value in the text box. And also, once they match, you want to make the gallery go away again.
Yeah.
And that would be a variable with setting some defaults, if I recall. So let's say something like this. We'll use display name. Yeah. All right. So I reckon on the gallery, if we go on select, and I'll just do set because it's easier while we're on the little keyboard. Set selected person to this item dot display name. Oh, you want to do the whole
just
this
do
item?
this item.
Yeah, okay.
Because I mean, if you select it, there's the assumption that you might want to use the information later on somewhere else.
Good point. So we have that. And let's just double check that that's working. So cool, we've clicked.
I would also like to have a little color going on in the click, but hey.
Yeah, go and have a look. Selected person, it's a record because you did this item. Cool, working, everything is happy. So of course now that means we come in here and we go selected person dot, right? Because we have to do
We're already in the default.
oh yeah, okay. Selected person dot display name.
Yeah.
All right, coolio, things are matching. So now we come into the visible of this thing again. And we would have to do something along the lines of the length is greater than 2 and always get my ands and ors to this day mixed up because if I knot it, then it becomes an or. You know, you're better at Boolean than me. It's just, that's what it is. Selected person dot display name is equal to, and we'll go gallery 1.selected, but really I could also check if there's only one row.
Yeah.
That's the other way of doing it. Double, you could check 2.
I wouldn't check if there's only one row because you may not have selected it, you know.
True. That ought to do the trick. You reckon?
I like that it's hidden behind the thing, so you're just...
It's still there, but hang on. That's all right. I could have it wrong, but maybe it's an or, I don't know. If I go Paul, yes, now it's gone visible. My logic's reversed. All right, fix it, Ash. What did I do? Selected person dot display name equals. Oh yeah, no, of course you want it. It's supposed to be visible when it's not. Right? That's better. Okay. We click. Oh, look at that.
You did so good.
Yes, I did. Dad did good. All right, so if we now back it up straight away, it should, in theory, we haven't done the on change. That's the bit we haven't done, I think, because like the variable, no, it's delay. There you go. So let's have a look at our logic, because technically, yeah, it is on change, because what we have to do now is the default value needs to be reflected, and that's where your decision to use the record is going to bite us slightly. Because the outcome we're looking for, you get to here, this is all good.
Mm-hmm.
We get to here, it's gone off. But of course, the minute we go boom, 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 right, that is supposed to be visible again. So let's just go back to that logic on our gallery. And is the length greater than 2? Hell yeah, right? Is the selected person dot display name?
Instead of selected person dot display name, you should have it as... Yeah. That's it. You've got it. Yeah, I was referring to the variable, not the control. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you, Ash. So let's test. Click. I click. Doesn't update now. Why? Because the default value of this guy, that should have worked, right? On select. Let's have a look at our gallery. I didn't want to do it on the row. I just thought I'd do it on the gallery.
Yeah.
On select. Set selected person this item. Cool. This one here, we've left on change alone. The default is select a person dot display name. So I would have expected
Do you
that
want to like do a little refreshy on the text input?
As in reset the control?
Yeah, after clicking. No, after doing the little clicky click on the gallery.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So that it
That was, yeah, I think that was what we...
Yeah.
Text input 1. Oh yeah, that's the way.
You can tell I was working on this today and not you.
Yeah. That's better, because there you go. Did you see that worked nicely? The height worked well, because if I went... there's 4.
Well, there's 5.
5. Yeah, but then if I was to go say, I'll just change it to... Cool. And then like there's the 2. Still haven't quite got the height right, but that's
yeah,
okay.
but that's just to do... That would just be fiddling with the
That's
padding.
aesthetics. There's our double, because that truly, if you have a corporate network, or if you're a large corporate and you have 10,000 users in your network, you totally want to do the 2 character thing.
Oh yeah, because like even when we were testing earlier, I think you would have seen
Random groups.
the random groups come up, like all people in the department. Like it's so
the
annoying.
numbers, a lot of the numbers ones, because like
yeah, and especially if you are a user who has no idea of any of that background stuff, who's going to search for like someone's name in a drop down, and all of a sudden it's like AZ Active Directory. You're like, what's this?
Exactly.
And if you accidentally click it, then you're kind of
exactly. So that's all we wanted to show you. We got there in the end. Not too bad.
I mean, obviously you can make this look prettier. Like the fact that it's a fully editable gallery, you can like change all the colors. You can make the selection. You can make it
look
bigger.
To other things.
Yeah, you can make it bigger, smaller. You can move that around to be over like here instead, like pop up on the side or whatever. You can really do whatever with it.
So it's just basically really, really flexible.
Yeah,
that way.
which is a bit nicer than, sometimes.
Good old combo box.
Combo box is good, but sometimes you do need to be able to like put that over.
You know what actually I think can work really well? Combo box with multi-select isn't so great because it just goes 3 selected. It doesn't see the names. Yeah. Whereas you could actually be clever and almost have like a gallery type thing, and as you're selecting them, you could add to a collection and display that way. Like there's a number of ways.
You could do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah, you could. All right. I think next related to this is then patching it back. We won't do that today, but that's a subject for another day because a lot of people do patching in a suboptimal way. So we really should do one on patching.
We've found some good ways to do patching that are...
All right. So hope you enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments if you have any other ways of doing people pickers or take what we've done and improve it. Otherwise, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.